Hey everybody, I got this interesting product to look at today. It's a long-range UHF extender system, and if you've watched some videos on my other videos on my channel, you know that I've been using DragonLink and also the OpenLRS system from Hobby King. And this is kind of interesting because it's a Chinese company. Found this on Banggood, and it was really inexpensive. It was like $77 for the transmitter, extender, and the receiver. So let me get this all stuff out and show you what you got. You got those two parts. You got these cables and the transmitter antenna. Now, the thing that struck me was this was really tiny. And let me just show you what the transmitter looks like compared to the size of the DragonLink. And it is much smaller. So there it is right there. Oops. Estimate about half the width and a little bit more than half the height, and definitely a lot thinner too. So as you can tell here, this is the DragonLink that I set up with that FrSky receiver here as the repeater. And so basically my Taranis talks to this FrSky receiver, and I did a video on this, so I'll put a card here that you can click on if you want to see that whole video. But this receiver, the FrSky receiver, talks to the DragonLink using this voltage regulator to power 5 volts here, while the DragonLink gets the full 3S battery voltage, and the signal is just sent transmitted via PPM to the DragonLink. Now, this DAL RC UHF system is marketed not as a transmitter but as an extender, and the reason is on the bottom here we got these output pins, and you can it'll actually output PWM 8 channels, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And the other thing that's interesting is that there's no voltage regulator that's needed to convert the 3S battery voltage to the 5 volts that's needed for the FrSky receiver or Spectrum receiver or whatever that you want to connect to this. And this also will output PPM or S-Bus, whereas the DragonLink only does PPM. So what's cool is that I don't need a 5-volt regulator between these two. I can simply use these cables here that's provided and wire up 5 volts in ground and the PPM signal to the PPM on the FrSky receiver, and then I can use my Taranis to talk to this. It will then repeat the signal to the extender, which will then send the control to the receiver here, which will go in the plane or the quad. And this is a really tiny receiver for a 433 system. As you can see here, this is the DIY FrSky receiver, 2.4 gigahertz. And I'll also put a card up here with the video that I did with the review of this one as well, if you want to see that. But yeah, it's not that much bigger than the FrSky receiver. It's very light. Very tiny. So what's cool is that now that I can then, let's see here, I can bind this to the Taranis, and then obviously I'll bind this to this, the UHF systems. The signals will go over PPM to the transmitter or the extender to my receiver, and then this receiver can also output PPM and S-Bus, so I could use it with a Naze or APM or any flight controller that will accept a PPM input. And so, let's see if I can get this to focus on camera. So you get a PPM S-Bus out, and it also gives you RSSI. So one of the pins here will also output RSSI. So you can get the RSSI data on your OSD back from this receiver, so you know how strong your signal strength is. anyway, so it's just a quick overview of the system. There'll be more videos on my channel for this if you're interested, and I'll be coming out with this pretty soon. I'll probably do a range test and with the RSSI strength indicators and compare it to how far I can go with the other systems. Now, what's kind of different is this system has a capability of going up to 1500 milliwatts, which is really nuts because the Dragon Link only goes to like 500 or 600. The default is actually 1000 milliwatts. So we'll have to see if that's actually the case. And there's a little mode button right here. You can click on and change the power output. I think it goes all the way from as low as 100 milliwatts all the way up to 1500 milliwatts, which is really crazy. So we'll see how it does. Stay tuned to my channel for more videos on this in the system, and I'll talk to you guys later.